Welcome to Novum Tempus, your gateway to the stories shaping our world. Today, we've got a bombshell update that's got the US on edge and the rest of the world watching closely. This isn't just news, it's a game changer, and you'll want to hear every detail. Imagine a world shrouded in darkness, the familiar hum of factories silenced. Picture smartphones going dark, their screens flickering out one by one. Envision hospitals struggling to function, their advanced medical equipment rendered useless. This is not a scene from a dystopian novel, it is the potential reality if China continues to restrict the United States' access to critical resources. Our modern world thrives on interconnectedness. Global supply chains, often spanning continents, deliver the essential components that power our industries, technologies, and daily lives. For decades, the United States, a technological giant, has relied heavily on imports to meet its needs for these vital resources. Among its key suppliers, China stands out as a dominant force, controlling a significant portion of the world's production of rare earth elements, semiconductors, and other critical materials. This reliance on China, however, has become a strategic vulnerability. As geopolitical tensions escalate, China has shown an increasing willingness to wield its control over these resources as a weapon, jeopardizing the economic and national security of the United States. The ramifications of this shift in power dynamics are profound, extending far beyond the borders of these two nations. The world watches with bated breath as the US grapples with the consequences of its dependence on China. The outcome of this high-stakes game of economic chess will have far-reaching implications, shaping the future of global trade, technological innovation, and the balance of power for decades to come. The relationship between the United States and China has long been a complex tapestry woven from threads of cooperation and competition. For decades, the two economic powerhouses engaged in a delicate dance, their fortunes intertwined through trade and investment. The U.S., with its insatiable appetite for consumer goods and technological innovation, found a willing supplier in China, whose rapidly growing manufacturing sector churned out products at an astonishing rate. This economic interdependence, however, masked a fundamental imbalance. While the U.S. excelled in innovation and high-end manufacturing, it increasingly relied on China for the raw materials and components that formed the bedrock of its technological prowess. Rare earth elements essential for everything from smartphones to missile guidance systems flowed from Chinese mines to American factories. Semiconductors, the brains of modern electronics, were increasingly produced in Chinese foundries, feeding the global demand for computers, smartphones, and other devices. This reliance on China for critical resources was not without its critics. Concerns about overdependence, intellectual property theft, and the potential for economic coercion simmered beneath the surface of the bilateral relationship. However, the sheer efficiency and affordability of Chinese manufacturing, coupled with the allure of access to its vast consumer market, proved irresistible to many American businesses. As the 21st century progressed, the strategic implications of this economic imbalance became increasingly apparent. China, under its ambitious leadership, embarked on a path of technological advancement, seeking to shed its image as a low-cost manufacturer and emerge as a global leader in innovation. In pursuit of this goal, China recognized the leverage it held over the US and other nations through its control of critical resources. In the intricate game of geopolitics, nations seek strategic advantages to bolster their position on the world stage. For China, its dominance in critical resources has emerged as a trump card, a powerful lever wielded with increasing assertiveness. These resources form the lifeblood of modern technologies, making them indispensable to economic prosperity and national security. Rare earth elements, with names like neodymium, dysprosium, and terbium, lie at the heart of China's strategic advantage. These elements are essential in technologies like smartphones, electric vehicles, wind turbines, and military hardware. China controls the lion's share of global rare earth production, giving it an unrivaled grip on this sector. Semiconductors, the tiny chips that power our digital world, represent another critical resource. From smartphones to sophisticated computers, semiconductors are ubiquitous and vital. China has invested billions in developing its semiconductor manufacturing capabilities, closing the gap with leading producers. This control over critical resources provides China with significant leverage in its dealings with other nations. By restricting access to these materials, China can disrupt supply chains and exert economic pressure on rivals. the United States, reliant on Chinese imports, has found itself increasingly vulnerable to such tactics. The year 2024 will forever be etched in the annals of global trade as a turning point, the year when the music of unfettered globalization began to falter. On December 3rd, the Chinese government, in a move that sent shockwaves through the global economy, announced sweeping export restrictions on a range of critical materials, including gallium, germanium, and antimony. These restrictions, the most stringent ever imposed by China on such materials, were widely seen as a shot across the bow of the United States, a clear signal of China's willingness to use its economic clout to advance its geopolitical interests. Gallium, a silvery white metal with a low melting point, plays a crucial role in the production of semiconductors, particularly those used in high-frequency applications like 5G wireless networks and military radar systems. Germanium, another key ingredient in semiconductor manufacturing, is also used in fiber optic cables, infrared optics, and solar cells. Antimony, a brittle silvery white metalloid, finds applications in flame retardants, batteries, and alloys used in a variety of industrial processes. The impact of China's export restrictions was immediate and far-reaching. Prices for these critical materials soared, as manufacturers around the world scrambled to secure alternative sources of supply. Production lines in industries ranging from electronics to defense slowed to a crawl as companies grappled with the sudden shortage of essential components. The global economy, already grappling with the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and geopolitical uncertainty, faced a new and potentially more disruptive crisis. The imposition of China's trade restrictions has had a profound impact on various U.S. industries. From technology to agriculture, these measures have disrupted supply chains and created significant economic challenges. American companies are finding it increasingly difficult to navigate the complex regulatory environment, leading to a decline in competitiveness on the global stage. As a result, many businesses are forced to rethink their strategies and explore alternative markets or partnerships to mitigate the risks posed by these restrictions. To comprehend China's strategic playbook, one must first recognize its long-term vision for economic and geopolitical dominance. The country employs a combination of state-controlled enterprises, aggressive investment in key industries, and diplomatic maneuvers to expand its influence. By leveraging its vast resources and centralized decision-making, China is able to implement policies that would be challenging for more decentralized economies. This approach not only strengthens its domestic economy, but also positions China as a formidable player on the world stage. Understanding these tactics is crucial for any nation looking to effectively engage with China in the 21st century. In a world where every second counts, nations find themselves in a relentless race against time. The stakes are higher than ever, and the margin for error is razor thin. As global tensions rise, the clock ticks faster, pushing leaders to make swift, decisive moves. The question remains, who will emerge victorious in this high-stakes game of strategy and endurance? A trade war doesn't just affect the countries directly involved. Its repercussions are felt worldwide. Economies are interlinked, and a disruption in one can lead to a domino effect, impacting markets across the globe. Tariffs, sanctions, and trade barriers create ripples that can destabilize entire regions. The global community watches closely, understanding that in this interconnected world, no nation is an island. As old alliances shift and new partnerships form, we witness the dawn of a new world order. Emerging powers challenge the status quo, seeking to redefine the balance of power. Nations must navigate this complex landscape, forging alliances and making strategic decisions that will shape the future. The world stands at a crossroads, and the path chosen will determine the course of history. We've journeyed through the intricate web of geopolitics, witnessing the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. The world is in a state of flux, and the decisions made today will echo through generations. As we move forward, one thing is certain: the landscape of global power is ever-changing, and the race to shape the future continues. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.